So, I owe you a story about Miss Bossy because I was interrupted last time that there was a dog and his owner, or her owner. So I had to end the video a bit sooner, but I don't think I would be able to finish it anyway. So Miss Bossy, I went to the vet. She is a birth specialist, so that was the first time I finally got around to get to that place. It's in the capital, and I wrote to her 2 times before, but each and every time when I was just about to go there, the hen I wanted to go there with died. Fortunately, Miss Bossy made it into to Tuesday, and she made it into the vet's place, and the vet she inspected her. She found out that she's got parasites, which was I was finished on that in the last video. She's got parasites, bird lice actually, and I was not aware of it at all because there never was a problem with bird lice before. And she has very nice feathers, and there is no visible sort of sign of parasites to me, you know. But yeah, she did have lice, bird lice, and I could see it on the skin. Reiko, fueto. Yeah, Drake's checking out the throw up. And so apparently, yeah, those ravens, they're gathering here on the throw up, which is quite surprising to me, to be honest, because it looks anything but appetizing. So is there something new in there? Oh no, but they ate some. Hold on a second, isn't it different? Looks like a different thing now. Interesting. So they changed it. Either they changed it or they added something, but there is now rice, corn, and beetroot. It's definitely different, man. And by the way, you know how it totally looks like? But in all seriousness now, it totally looks like if you, hey, and there's another feather, another raven feather. Huh? So, you know how it totally looks like? As if you go visit the, hear them? It's cool. If you visit the school kitchen and there are leftovers for the day, and you take them and you throw them out here, that's completely how that looks like. You know, got a whole giant pot of it, and you just throw it up here. And I believe that it's true. I mean, they must have, that's the same for all the bread and everything they put, and the Fruit Loops. I think they go into some of these places like school kitchens, and they take the leftovers and they dump it here for the animals. That's what I think, because I don't believe they would be cooking all those things together for the animals. I don't believe so. It really looks like a leftover food to me. So yeah, that was another interesting specialty. There's a singing very softly and quietly now, but that right there, the chatter inside, that's the blackcap. Oh, we'll hear it again, I'm sure. Oh, and there's you can probably see it, but there's a yellow hammer in there, a male. Yeah, that. Singing very softly though. It's gaining a little more volume now. So that was a blackcap. And so she found out she's got bird lice, which was surprising to me. And so that was one of the causes why she was so down and so apathetic, because she was getting weakened by all those bird lice on her skin. And then she didn't find anything obvious on her. Like, she just found out that her crop is full, and whatever she's got in there, I force fed her some water in the morning, so she had the water in her crop, and she said it's not getting through, and that's the main problem, that whatever goes in the crop doesn't go inside her system, and it doesn't get processed, and the nutrition doesn't get absorbed, and that's why she lost a lot of weight. And she said she has almost no muscles at all, which I felt, you know, she's very light and all bone and skin. So she said all that, and she took a bit of the poop she had on her vent, and she put it in the centrifuge and inspected under a microscope, and she didn't find any signs of parasites or anything, not any eggs, not any worms or anything, so that wasn't the cause. And she said there can be lots of different causes, but there is only so much you can say by just looking at the bird and, like, you know, feeling it. She offered me she can do an x-ray, but that would be only make sense if she would swallow a nail or something, you know, something sharp and pointy and something that would hurt her, which was very unlikely. So there was not really much to do, and she said, you know, sometimes it's something on the stomach, that there are like sort of like it's tied together, and sort of it creates these sort of knots, and the water and the food doesn't go through, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's when she offered, you know, like, you can, you know, euthanize her. And I was just trying to find a solution, because of course I didn't want to euthanize her. I didn't want to give her a chance, because you could see on her that she was like still curious, still sort of, she still had like, well, her old spirit, you know. If you would know Miss Bossy, she was always like strong and curious, and she had to be everywhere all the time, first everywhere, to like eat everything, and, you know, she was like a wildfire, you know. And I could still see that in her when she was there in the box, and I was waiting for the tests, because we were waiting for about half an hour or 40 minutes for the poop test and the screenings. And I was looking at her, and she was like poking, like looking at me from the box, and like curiously, sort of, and considering she stopped eating 3 days prior, she was still sort of pushing through, you know. She was still hanging there, and I just couldn't, you know, I just couldn't like make that decision to like put her down and just not give it a chance, because who knows, you know. And if the vet would tell me, yeah, it's this, and she's gonna suffer and there is no way to save her, I would be like, okay, well, sure, then let's euthanize her, you know, because I wouldn't want her to suffer just so that I can, you know, be with her a little longer. I wouldn't do that kind of thing, obviously. But she didn't say that. She said she doesn't know, like, what is the specific cause, and that either there is a possibility of euthanizing her, or after a little bit, like, I asked her several questions, and when she realized that I care about her a lot, you know, because, you know, for some people, chickens are just like, you know, egg layers, you know, they're just chickens, and when one passes, there's more in the flock, and you can always buy more, and so on and so forth. But for me, she means a lot, you know. She's a friend. So when she realized that, she said, yeah, we can give her like antibiotics. I mean, the result is of course not guaranteed, because we don't know the cause, but you can try that for sure, you know. So I said, okay, let's do that, because you never know. So she gave me antibiotics. She also gave me a special sort of feed for for parrot chicks, you know, that you feed them with. Very nutritious, sort of when you make a little mash out of it and inject it into the beak. So she gave me that, some extra syringes, and she also gave me a spray on the bird lice. So she sprayed her with it right on the spot. She told me to repeat it in a week's time, and she also gave her the injection of the antibiotics and gave me the needles. She asked me if I will be okay with injecting it, because it's going to be way more effective than giving it through the beak, because we would know, like, you would know if she would digest it or like if it would get absorbed. And I said, yeah, man, like, I mean, I never done it before, but if that's a sure way to make sure that it's going to be effective, then I'm going to do it. So I took the syringes and we went on our way. We were driving in the car. I was playing, to the trip there and back, I played solfeggio frequencies. It was awesome, by the way, because those vibrations, it made me so relaxed, and I was quite tense. And you know, like capital city and all the traffic, and everyone's nervous, and you know, cars honking, and I was playing those solfeggio frequencies, you know, all of them, like all the 528 and so on and so forth, and it felt like I'm in a sort of a moving oasis, you know, and it was like a bubble of protection that no one and nothing can get to, and sun was shining, and you know, Miss Bossy was laying in the box in the back seat, and I felt good, man. I was really relieved, that because I felt so hopeless. I was waiting for like, I was waiting for Tuesday when we had the appointment for so many days, and I saw how she was getting down, and she stopped eating and drinking, and I felt like it's all my fault because I didn't start to deal with it sooner, you know. So all of that went in my head, you know, it's my fault, and now she's like losing weight quickly, and there's nothing I could do but watch her, you know. And it was like really, yeah. I mean, you know, the fact that you cannot do anything, and the helplessness, it's just, yeah. So I was so relieved when we were driving back and the frequencies were playing, and it felt really so good. The vibrations and everything, and it really helped me too and relaxed me too. And I was playing the frequencies today as well. Yesterday as well. And you know, because like what do we know, right? I mean, and frequencies, like vibrations, we do react to those things because, you know, we are, after all, sort of a bundle of atoms and bundle of molecules, you know, and we're made of water by a large percentage, you know, and so frequencies has to have an effect on us, right? So I do believe in effect of solfeggio frequencies and its positive effect on our bodies and our mind. So I was playing those today. I also using an infrared light that I turn on every here and then, mostly in the morning before, in the night before we go to bed, and throughout the day. Sometimes I've used the infrared light to boost her up, you know, to help blood circulation and all that. And she made a huge progress yesterday. Actually, she was much more lively, and she ate a couple of sunflower seeds from my palm on the garden by herself, and she swallowed them, which was, you know, a huge improvement. And not only that, she also drank by herself from Drake's water bowl, you know, by herself, you know, which was an incredible improvement from like just within a day. So I think those antibiotics must be definitely helping. because that is really like, if you would see her, yes, the 2 days prior, you know, that is, she wasn't eating, she wasn't drinking, she was apathetic. So that is an extremely good sign, and really a positive development. And yeah, and I gave her the injection yesterday successfully, the first one I've ever given to anyone and any animal really. And man, it was stressful because I have a syringe full of the solution, the antibiotics, and I have to put only 2 increments, only 2 parts. I don't know if it's 0.2 millimeters. I guess it is. I'm not sure. But I have to put just the 2, and then the next day the 2, and the next day the 2. So it's not like I push everything in, right? So I have to watch that, and I have to watch her not to move. I have to find a right spot to inject it under the skin. So like for me, for me, there's a lot at stake because I wanted to help her. I want it to help her. And, you know, I want to be exact with the dose and everything, you know, so I was quite anxious about it and really stressed out when I was injecting it. But I got everything in the right dose, and I found a perfect spot to inject it. So that was a success yesterday. I'm going to repeat it today again, and for the next 7 days roughly. And well, I have best hopes that Miss Bossy is gonna recover miraculously, because she was really like, I've seen it over and over again. It was a little different though. With her, it was a little different than with all the previous hens that died. But I've seen it over and over. And once the hens stop eating and drinking, it's a way straight down, you know. And the fatality rate increases drastically. So yesterday, her, like, how she was eating and drinking, that was absolutely miraculous. And it shows that she's got the will, and she wants to live, and she you know, that's why I said I really saw it in her, you know, like her old curiosity and her old sort of energy and everything. I saw it in her, and in the head movements and in the eyes. It's there, you know, because I've seen the hens that were really like dying, and they were really in dire condition, and they were completely sort of, they gave up, you know, like you could see just they were weak, and it was just really sad to watch. But Miss Bossy, she is visibly ill, but she's fighting, and she's really still retaining her old self, you know, with all that curiosity. And when you put her out on the garden nowadays, like I'm gonna do it today too, because it's sunny and it's gonna be a nice weather. When you put her out in the garden, she's moving around, you know, she's walking around, curious, looking at grass, pecking here and there. So you can see there is will. And willpower, and still the curiosity and all that, which are all good signs to me. So that was an update on Miss Bossy. And and we can hear a black cap over there. I'm not sure if you caught it. That flute-like, higher pitched. That, by the way, this, oh cool. This is a crested tit, and we haven't heard it properly yet. This, it's like this. That was a crested tit, Lopopanes cristatus, and it's one of the most spectacular tits of Europe, in my opinion. I mean, of course, like you have blue tit, which is very colorful, blue and beautiful, bright. But to me, like crested tit, I think it's the least common, and also very, very spectacular with the crest and everything. So that was a crested tit. and it very much likes the coniferous, especially pines. You know, so you'll find it in the coniferous forests, and it very much likes pine forests. And that over there was a black cat. I'm not sure if it was audible that well. But yeah, that was a nice ending. All right, so I'm gonna sign off now. And by the way, so that I just don't talk about her and you don't see her, this is Miss Bossy. Just put her out of the infirmary box, so to speak, and put her on the garden. And she actually let out a couple of silent clucks. So that's also something she wasn't doing. She was completely silent before. So that's another sign of an improvement, I would say. So yeah, this is Miss Bossy. Hey, Miss Bossy. Ooh, yeah, she pooped now. Which is also, by the way, a pretty good sign. She wasn't doing that before either. So, yeah, Miss Bossy is doing much better. Right, Miss Bossy? Anyways, so that's a little bit of a bonus ending to today's video.